Polyester Blend Live presents odd tweets we've seen during the pandemic. First up, from the United Federation of Capuchin Monkeys, the type of monkey used in the movie Outbreak. The tweet: looks like you blew it again, humans. Called this one wrong. You thought it would be our fault for the next pandemic. Wrong. Hashtag Homo sapiens are worse than shit. Hashtag except Ross from Friends and Ace Ventura. The next tweet from Coronabat at Coronabat. The tweet in response to Outbreak Monkey: I'm not mad. I'm laughing, actually. The next tweet comes from Your Belly at Your Belly. Hey, bud, perhaps you want to cool it with the 10 packs of El Monterey frozen burritos. The next tweet comes from John Burkow, former Speaker of the House of Commons and English Parliament. His tweet is at DoorDash, where's my order? Because he said order a lot. The next tweet comes from Wiener Schnitzel at Wiener Schnitzel. We're still open, you sloppy motherfuckers. We'll dump a bucket of chili right under your dick. That's right, shits bitches. We're edgy now. Things are turning for him. The next tweet comes from 5G Towers Suck at Not Clate Scriv. At Hulu, I have nothing. Please release more hashtag Dave on Hulu. It's all I have. There's no joy other than hashtag Dave on Hulu. I can't take it anymore. Hashtag snaps. The next tweet comes from the Jack Black Pandemic Chub Up line at Jack Chub Up. At Ryan Schlegel, congratulations. You have officially crossed the Jack Black Pandemic Chub Up line. You're now as chubby as he is. The next one comes from SLC Police Scanner at SLC Scanner. SLC PD is responding to a naked man chained to a 5G tower in front of his house. The phrase "Bring back Dave on Hulu" is written out on his chest. And our final tweet comes from Things Right Outside Your Window at Things Right Outside Your Window. We've never felt more seen. This has been Polyester Blend presents odd tweets we have seen during the pandemic. It's now time for the show.
Understand that? Do come on, go. And you're...
Attention. For the next 4 minutes and 10 seconds, this station will be conducting a test of the Good Times Broadcasting System.
Oh, people. It's Monday. It's a holiday, but we literally have nothing going on. That means one thing and one thing only. Polyester Blend is back for another edition. We're going to be here from 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time to 10 p.m. People, it's Polyester Blend Live!
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, gets the blood going.
That's real exciting stuff, man.
Clayton Scribner, my cohort. You are my cohort. What's up, buddy?
Compatriot. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
So good to see you. People don't realize you got to bring it into the frame, dude.
I know. Hold on. Ooh, yeah,
oh, shit, people. We are no longer some slop show, some fucking dumb third-rate internet show, which there are plenty of.
Wait. A microphone is not going to change that.
Okay,
we are
that's
still
true.
A third-rate internet show.
The content has not really changed that much, but you'll hear the shitty content more and more because Clay's got a condenser mic.
It's so exciting.
It sounds so good.
You need a laugh track on that opening bit because, you know.
What?
You just need a laugh track on that opening bit because, like, some of those tweets were legitimately funny, especially ones that were involving me.
I know, they are very
I was
funny.
laughing. Or at least unmute me so you can hear someone, like, I can do my Ed McMahon thing.
It's the silence. We'll try it next week. I think I don't like it because it takes a risk of you not laughing at it. So people know you're on there and you're still not laughing. So that's,
or they
that's
can laugh at my response of it being unfunny.
This is all very true. That was co-written with our good friend, Ryan Bradford, who we love having on the show. Ryan Bradford, welcome to... Oh, no.
Bradford's not here. Man.
Bradford is not here. People, we have an issue. This is the first time in weeks. Our good friend from Santiago will not be on the show live. I know that we've all come to love him. We all come to love. We've all come to love him so much.
Are you getting hate tweets? Are you getting hate texts?
I'm already getting laugh track would be a good idea because there was no laugh. No, Ryan Bradford is not here this week, but I got a little concerned, Clay. I was getting worried because I hadn't heard from him. You hadn't heard from him. His family members haven't heard from him. We're just like, what's going on here? Where's our good boy? So I did a little investigating, my friend. I looked up. I just interested. Have you seen the Ozark thing that happened where all these kids in the Ozarks were getting together? Did you see those images?
Was that that's not the show Ozark?
No, that's very perfect timing for that. But no, this has nothing to do with the hit Netflix series Ozarks. This has everything to do with the actual party time.
Well, like kids are partying. I mean, is that against the rules?
And very,
is it against the law?
Like we're talking like fucking right next to each other. It's pretty rough stuff. Maybe I'll look it up. But anyway, so there they are. They're all in the Ozarks, and I got to thinking. I was like, Ryan Bradford loves to party. Okay, I know he loves to party, and I know the closest party zone to him in San Diego is actually Lake Havasu. Okay, not too far away from where you're from.
Home of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Home of the Golden Gate Bridge.
No, sorry, the London Bridge.
Home of the Golden Gate Bridge. So shows how much I'm paying attention. Home of the London Bridge. Very fantastic place. But I started looking at photos, and then you'll never fucking believe this. Let me share the screen with you, Clay.
Yes, please do.
But I'm searching online for photos of, Lake Havasu because I figure he might be there. So I find this photo, and I zoom in here.
Oh, my God.
And you'll never believe it. Oh, it's a bit better.
Right down by the cold drinks shack, huh?
You see right here.
Oh, my God. That's
in Lake Havasu is Ryan Bradford, and he's throwing up the hang loose. And I couldn't fucking believe it. And then I started looking for other photos of around Lake. And then I find this one.
Dude, I think I went to high school with that drummer.
I find this one, which is clearly Ryan is fucking out there doing his thing. And then I started seeing on different Instagrams from people who hashtag Lake Havasu that there was this guy going around saying, I'm the greatest beer shotgunner of all time. I've got the skills. In fact, I'm going to shotgun a fucking keg right now. And so I find this photo, and there you go, right down there. There's Ryan Bradford fucking shotgunning a fucking keg of beer, vomiting.
He's got the Google.
Well, he's drunk out of his mind, Clay.
Oh, he's vomiting.
He's drunk out of his mind. Of course he's going to be. He's out of his mind there. Which one are we on? Hold on. Where's this bit at? Okay. There he is.
Did you check out that guy's chest tat in the picture beforehand?
No, we can get back to that. No, let's see. Let's see which one we got here. Chest tat guy. Nope, that's not it.
No,
that's not it.
It's the one where they do the con. I swear I went.
Are you serious? This guy?
What's the date? Yeah. No. The drummer.
Oh, the drummer. Yes.
I wasn't joking about that.
Are you serious?
He's just like his tattoo says, "Always remember, never forget," except for his spring break at Havasu.
Holy shit! Well, this is developing stories. Let's get to the end of it. So you got Ryan Bradford here. He's clearly not. He didn't handle it, and it turns out in Lake Havasu, if you commit verbally to shotgunning a beer and you don't complete it, it is an offense, and you have to go to jail. So I looked up, and there he is, right there. Oh man, poor guy. There's Ryan Bradford's mugshot. So we hope, Ryan Bradford, get out of jail soon, my friend. Play Monopoly, whatever you got to do. Get out of jail soon. We want you back. Hopefully you'll return safely.
I hope he wasn't kidnapped by all the people that hate him on Twitter.
Oh, that's a good point. Those are the fucking people. He should never have gone to Lake Havasu. They're the ones who... That's their fucking demographic right there. All right, my friend. We have got a couple things to get to. It is time for one of our hit segments that everyone loves.
Order!
Everyone loves this one.
I think it's just me because I want to hear this every week. Order! It is time, of course, for Point of Order. Point of Order. Order. The order of this week, I wanted to bring up, Clay.
Yes.
It takes a little bit to get there, but we'll get there. First of all, Point of Order. Who is the top? It's King of Turds. Who is at the top of Utah's weirdo ranking? Okay? Who is number one right now? Okay? And let me just get to where I'm going with this. Is first of all, did you see the story? We all have heard about it with the Kaysville concert, right? The idea, you heard about this, where there's a gentleman who wanted to put on a concert to First Amendment concert in Kaysville, and the crazy ass fucking mayor there loved it. But then, thankfully, the Kaysville city council came in and said, "Nope, you're not doing a concert." They wanted to do it like this week. You're not doing a concert in the middle of a fucking pandemic. We're not doing mass gathering. We'll turn on the sprinklers. So then a private.
Was the sprinkler threat real?
Who knows?
Oh.
I don't know. Right wingers got assault rifles. Maybe they're going to shoot the sprinklers. But they get kicked out of Kaysville. But the beautiful private citizens of Grantsville say they would love to have them out there, even though the city says they don't. But did you see who was organizing it, my friend?
Oh, I know who's organizing it.
And his name is
Eric.
And how do you pronounce his last name? I set you up to try to fucking say Mousetosis. I'm just going to say Mousetosis. I apologize. But he is the fucking guy right here who was the person who refused. He was an SLCPD officer, refused to work the gay right parade years ago, the Utah parade. So he says he got fired, but I hear it's not. He gonna just quit. He writes this fucking book about it. He's a right winger dude. He was also responsible for the protest with our good friend Eamon Bundy. There he is, together with him right there. So this guy is doing the protest during the pandemic. He's doing the fucking concert during the pandemic, and it made me think the other day. I believe he has overtaken our good friend Super Del Sanch as Utah's number one weirdo. I think.
I mean, he still has yet to kick an owl. But
very good point, and this is why I brought this order. I'm having the debate on the floor of Parliament. Do you think Superdale's still with? Because Superdale's gone silent. The last thing we heard of him was in Trump Tower in Vegas with his segways, and he wouldn't get let in.
I've seen him chime in a little bit on social media regarding at pandemics and such. But the thing I've noticed, and I want to bring this to everyone's attention, there's just a common thread that unites all the pandemic freedom fighters, and I know what it is. I'm just trying.
Guns?
No, it's more. Has more to do with a shade or a color.
Oh, we know what you're saying right there, my friend.
Yeah, it's 100%.
It's a white man's game. It's a white man's game. Is what you're saying.
Yes, protesting pandemic social distancing. Well, here the other problem I have that everything's up for debate. I don't have a problem with people debating and talking about discussing stuff, but like the everything's closed, open it back up, and then okay, so we are opening things are moving, things are gradually opening back up in a socially distanced way. Well, okay, so I can get my hair done now we need to throw a concert. You won't let me throw a concert. We gotta throw a concert. It's like come on.
Right. Yeah. Here's my thing. The concert, it's clearly they're just trying to be bullies. They just think that they think they're invincible. Everything is getting there's these fucking echo chambers they're in, and God knows I'm in my own echo chamber with me and you. We only fucking talk to each other. But they're fucking out of their mind. The real debate, though, Clay, even though you made a very serious point during this comedy bit, is Super Del Sanch, is he the number one weirdo?
Oh, this is a comedy show.
It is a well, we're trying. We'll do both. We'll dabble.
Utah's most. I mean, so weirdo. There's so many weirdos.
I mean, he ran for governor.
We're talking infamous weirdos.
I mean, top ranking, man. Like fucking, who's got the belt? Does Del? I mean, Del's gone quiet. Is he gonna let Eric get a shot at his belt? I mean, I think there needs to be a title match here.
Well, I mean, like. Eric doesn't have the same goofiness though. I know I can't have fun with Mustos, man. Mutsos, Mustafasos. I don't want to even be around that guy.
I know, it's very sad. I don't like him, but anyway.
You think if you were having a conversation with him, he'd let you get a word in edgewise?
No,
I doubt it.
God no, hell no.
Or listen to your point of view.
Or my point of order. And that's been point of order. Order. That's been point of order this week. Point of order. What another great, beautiful segment of point of order. Let's get caught up here. The next thing I wanted to bring up is our paid sponsor of the week. Paid sponsor of the week, and we always have a sound effect for that. It is, of course, the one that I find on the thing that goes like this. That's right. Paid sponsor this week comes from the Contact Lens Board of America. And their message, please, for the love of God, wear contact lenses again. I don't know, Clay, because you've got perfect vision. You've got perfect vision, right?
That
You're
is
just
true.
living
That
this
is
dream.
correct. Perfect.
I do not. I have no fucking vision. I actually wanted to put on my contact lenses for this show.
I've heard you're a man of no vision.
That's true.
Oh, you're talking about that. Oh.
Very good, my friend. Very good.
Thank you.
But I had not worn my contact lenses in several weeks, and I went to go put them on, and they were dry as a bone, my friend. The natural, because I have never wear them anymore. They're just drying out. Second time this has happened to me. I'm done. I want to bring back contact lenses. I'm ready for it, but not anytime soon. Plus, this acts as an eye shield, for me to not touch my eyes, even though I do it all the time anyway. And you rewatch these shows, you'll see that. So, contact lenses, paid sponsor this week. Can
I give a shout out to our unpaid sponsor this week?
Who's the unpaid?
Unpaid. I'm talking about Grid City Brewing right here.
Oh,
Repping the shirt. I went to Grid City and picked up an 8-pack of brews, and I was gonna do it like a live tasting review online, but I drank them already.
Oh, that makes me so sad because I would love to hear it. We have a good friend I play hockey with, this good man, Justin B. Justin B, one of the best of all time. But yeah, go check out Grid City Brewery. They maybe had the worst moment of anybody. Well, one of them. I mean, there's plenty of people having bad moments.
Weren't they supposed to wake up? Weren't they supposed to open like 3
the
days
week
after
of the Go
they
Bear
shut
game?
it?
They were going to fucking open up, and sure enough, it does not happen. He tries. But we love him so much.
So right now they're doing things in a socially distant way. So like their big dining hall is closed, and you just go to the front door and get it over the table with a mask and everything. But dude, that space looks unbelievable. I can't wait to see it.
When he was talking about it before, it sounded amazing. They've got a big patio up on top, right? The roof is like you can just hang out. Oh, that sounds so nice. But go to Get Great City there. I think they're doing pickup orders, beers. You can get a cool shirt. Support these people as they go through. And speaking of supporting, there's a young man who lives in my neighborhood who is a big fan of music. He likes putting cool playlists together. He's a big fan of music. He's got all sorts of cool hip records, and I really rely on him for it. That's why we're bringing in for our special guest.
Gavin Rossdale?
It's Gavin Rossdale. Nick Faulkner, everybody. Long time since you've been on the show. Still has no audio though.
Ryan, he's using Apple earbud.
I'm not happy about it.
Are you going to shame him too?
I want to fucking shame him, but he has to hear me first before I can shame him. Nick, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in.
So, I don't know if this is the Zoom or the video though. I think the video muted.
You want to definitely be on the Zoom. You're a man.
I know.
Sure
but I like to try to
Sure.
have both going at the same time.
Also, hearing your voice, Nick, I already feel like I'm losing money.
Back to the old poker stars.
I didn't win last week. I lost like $20.
I don't care. Just the fact that we can fucking do it. Take my money. I just want to play poker. It amazes me.
Right. There's like a handful of people that just sort of like play to hang out.
Yeah, that's what. It's not unlike most of my life. I have to pay money to hang out. Really.
Pat, maybe. I guess Schlegel sort of.
How dare you? I've won fucking things. How dare you?
You win some of the late night ones though.
I know. I'll play all night, man.
What he usually does is he gets me drunk on this radio show, and then he plays poker with me afterwards and takes my money.
My key is no matter what I lose, you goat fucking Clayton into playing more, and then you take his money at the end of the night. So I usually break even. It is so good to have you here, Nick, again. Long time. It's been a month or so.
I know. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I've been painting the last bunch of Mondays. But this one I did not have to work, so I did the painting earlier.
You did it earlier. You did. It was like a good boy. You got your homework done early.
I got some stuff done.
You're ready to hang out. I love it.
And I did my music homework.
You've been doing all sorts of stuff. We helped threw up some concrete. You've been just a good boy doing lots of good work, and we really appreciate it. We'd love to see you inspire your life. Clay.
Yeah.
We, of course, this week decided. Last week was inaudible. Everything was fucked up. It's the lost episode. I decided to get housed and just talk, not give a fucking shit. And we ditched our original plan of doing music of 2007. That's why this week we thought it was so important, and we'll get into it. But the idea of doing just a little couple music breaks in 2007, no way. It was a major year for music. I don't know how you feel, Clay, about it. Did you have a big year that year?
You know what's interesting is that was a year that I was really active playing music.
Sexually active. That's a little joke.
That was a good one.
That's the first joke all night.
Right?
In 21 minutes into the show, we finally got a fucking joke.
Thank God one of you guys said active so I can make that joke. I was planning.
I have a joke that's ready to go in case Ryan says something, but I'm not going to reveal it.
Those are the best ones because you force them.
Just trying to have a good time, you guys. So what do you, Clay, you're playing music. You just wanted to talk about how cool you are.
No, I was reflecting back on 2007 via this exercise.
Was the Rodeo Boys active then?
Yeah, we had put out our second record at the end of 2006. We toured a lot. We did a lot of touring. We toured, played a lot of shows. I just turned 30.
Oh,
I don't know, man. I started seeing records, and I started listening. This is when I started listening to records that weren't out in my lifetime.
Oh, you're going backwards. This was the moment you started going backwards.
Yeah, this is the moment I really started reaching back into the mid-70s.
You didn't listen to Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and stuff in high school?
No, I mean I started listening to Frank Zappa and stuff. I listened to Zeppelin very much. I'm just saying my headspace was bad, but there's obviously we're gonna play some records tonight that Ryan, you guys, you guys were just fresh out of high school, right? And this is probably a very definitive time musically for you guys.
You
right?
were very right.
I was not. This is the year that my little brother graduated.
Okay.
But I was 7 years out of high school.
Oh, did I say I was in high school? No, I was in
very sexually active.
Yes. You guys were just hitting puberty at this time. It was a very formative
I was hitting dance puberty. You know what I mean? Where I learned how much how much more ladies you could get if you danced at parties.
I've talked to, yes, I was that motion, okay.
I wonder if that rings true today at age 43.
Oh, yeah. Soon find out soon enough. Go to the Ozarks. But, Nick, we're closer in age than Clayton. Clayton's way older than us. He was fucking at Woodstock. He's got all sorts of fucking old ideas of music. But, I don't know. I felt like in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was, still going to punk shows and ska shows and, dancing wasn't the fucking fun thing to do, but then dance punk comes out and made dancing cool, and then by 2007 I've flipped completely. I'm fucking DJing at the W Lounge in downtown Salt Lake.
It was the peak of dance party.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You had that gig at the W. I forgot.
I wish Bradford wasn't in jail in Lake Havasu because we could talk about this, because he and I got a gig, and not unlike this show, we DJed to less than 10 people.
You were called Coolacost?
No, that was a special Pat Munger thing that we did. We got a gig at the Urban Lounge to DJ at night, and I was like, well, Bradford's not here, so I got to go by a new name. Oh, I know. I'll go by the name Coolacost.
Wow, that's a terrible idea, Ryan.
It was on the marquee. One of the greatest things in my life.
It was on the marquee.
Uh-huh.
Oh my!
I mean, it really makes you think.
But it says a lot about how long ago that was.
Yeah, when you can
right, that you could get away. We've kind of moved past that.
I don't know if I got away with that. I think it just, I don't know. I still laugh at that. I still like the concept.
My little brother at this, maybe in the same year as senior year of high school, started a telemark skiing club, and they called it the Teleband. And that's the same sort of shit where it's no way they'd allow high school kids to have a club.
Yeah, but also that's the kind of joke I would tell when I was 21, 22. So it's I don't know. I'm some fucking little shit kid running around. Of course I'm going to fucking make some bad jokes. Still do it to this day. Just try to be a little bit more PC about it. But 2007, I'm doing the DJ thing, going to shows all the fucking time. 22. I got a job. I got enough money to go to the shows. I saw most of these bands. Well, not most of them, but if I look at my music of that year, it's astonishing how many of those bands I saw on the tour of 2007. Mm-hmm. Were you the same way, Nick?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I one of my songs I wanted to talk about, I was trying to place where I was talking about the band, which show, and I was like, oh, is that in the venue? And I don't remember what the show was. And so I was like, oh, it could have been this. And there was 6 different shows that it could have been. And then I finally nailed it down which show in the venue at the first half of 2007. And that's just in the venue. It doesn't even seem like I went there that many times.
I think that was not and this is getting super hyper local, but it's only us 3 listening, so who gives a shit? But in the venue was the more outsider one. You didn't get shows there as much. I feel like it was either, of course, Urban Lounge, and then the other one was before. Well, DV8 hadn't burnt down yet, but it would burn down that year, I believe.
How many of these? I love how every venue you've mentioned I've been kicked out of. I got kicked out of. I got kicked out of
Kilby.
No, but I did play a show there where literally no one showed up. Not one.
Oh, you still played?
No, we moved it to Todd's.
Oh,
Todd's,
nice.
man.
Todd's.
Fucking
Todd's. I went to shows there in 2007. That was the very end of Todd's, wasn't it?
That was man. We played Todd so much. Todd. Oh man.
White Hot Bruce.
I remember.
Yes, he was actually the inspiration.
Yeah.
I remember. Well, 2007, the W Lounge. I went to shows at the W Lounge. I mean, did you ever go, Clay, or was that?
I remember I wanted to go, but I was like, I don't know. I was
Didn't know where it was or something.
I was feeling a little. I was just feeling like it was just a younger man's game.
It was the best, dude. We on Wednesday nights we would DJ. We had, this is how fucking old we are. We had the mixer where you would plug in your iPad, your what the fuck were they called? iPads?
Mm-hmm.
iPod Touch.
I know, yeah, iPads. No, not iPads.
Your iPod Shuffle.
Yeah, iPods. That's what it is.
Yeah,
not iPads. iPods. You would put in 2 iPods, and then you could switch between them, and it would play for you. It was like, I wish we kept that thing.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. What was that called? There was like some iPod switchboard.
Let me see if I can find it. iPod mixer. Yes, here. I mean, here. Let me show you this. Let's share the screen with you boys. This thing is like, I can't realize this is like our fucking 8-track or some shit. Where like, yeah, that's the one.
This is the most 2007 thing.
That we finally figured it out.
Yeah.
This is the most.
Did you have one of those?
Yes, we fucking.
Oh,
this is what we used
man.
at the W Lounge, dude.
Oh wow.
This is what we fucking used. It was amazing.
Had the iPod ports and everything.
Oh man, this is fucking mega 2007. Now I really feel fucking old. Anyway, yeah, that's what we used to DJ. And it was
how cool would it be though to fucking DJ a like huge party with one of those now?
Oh my god. Oh my.
And you roll up and you've got like Gen 2, Gen 3 iPods or whatever because they're the only ones that'll plug into it.
Some cool kid at some factory party after the pandemic is over in 2025 is going to absolutely be like iPod DJing party.
What could you do with those circles? Could you scratch? What could you do with the little circles?
No, I think it was just a toggle where you could go back and forth, but I have no fucking memory. I have no memory of it. And even how basic as it was, probably Ryan and I used 1/10 of the things you could do with it because we were not that great of.
The circles is where you kept your stash of coke.
Yeah.
That.
Well, I wish Ryan was.
Scoop up a little spoon and then go.
I wish Ryan was not in jail tonight because he could tell the stories about the bathroom at the fucking W and the toilet seat on top and just.
That was one drawback of the W is that it was like private bathrooms and people would just fucking party in there.
Oh my
like,
god!
And the line would get so long and you just know that there's like 3 people in there doing coke and they don't care, you know.
Bradford's big thing that I wish he was here to talk about. It was fucking. He would wear white denim pants that he was super obsessed with, and then talk about how you would. I'm not going to say what you did in there. I don't want to incriminate. I don't know what the statute limitations on that are. But yeah,
are you allowed to say that you've done drugs on this?
I will say how many drugs I've fucking done. He's not here. I don't know what's going on. My mom listens for sure. She knows.
I've never done
drugs with her.
Anything naughty. Ever.
I'm gonna talk about drugs.
You always talk about drugs because that's, I know, one of your favorites.
You're the one with the dog that smokes cigarettes.
Oh my god! The single greatest fucking thing of all time, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm putting this up on the thing right now.
That brought me great joy.
It was so insane. We chased it around for a couple minutes, but it was hard to get it from him because we were laughing so hard.
Fucking greatest.
It was just in his mouth like that for the longest.
The fucking greatest tweet of all time. That is my fucking favorite. God,
he's got a great smoker's guilt facial expression going too. Like,
or he's just like,
secrets out.
Fuck
I smoke.
You.
So,
yeah, I smoke. Fuck you.
So fucking good. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk before we'll keep on reminiscing. We got more guests coming. We got Jeff Gway. We got Jeff Gway coming up. We got Jeremy Matthews. Jeremy Matthews he put a fucking whole thing together. It's beautiful. Can't wait to show it with all of you. We're gonna do 3 songs. This is Clay. Me and Nick are doing this in order. Order. We're doing this in order of.
Order.
So we're every music break. We're working up to our number one song of the year.
Oh shit! I put my number one song right at the beginning. That's okay.
Well, there's no way to reverse it, right?
Yeah, there's no way to do it. We can
People just have to know that this was my favorite song of 2007.
Let's start.
This
like
program is so regimented. Like, you can't break the sequence.
No,
of this.
no.
Like,
so many people.
Well, we don't
Unfortunately,
want to. Yeah, we don't want to piss off. Let's see how many people. We don't want to piss off Rob.
Considering last week, we totally just didn't do a show. We just talked for 2 hours.
I fucking loved last week.
damn.
One of my favorite segments was last week. And you can rewatch any of these beautiful number one Polyester Blend shows by going to my YouTube page. They're all loaded up there. Every week's hilarity. You can do it while you're working, doing the dishes. Just rewatch some of your favorite bits from the boys of Polyester Blend. And speaking of your favorite bits, how about some new ones? It's 2007 year in review. We're doing our favorite songs of 2007. I'm going to start things off with an album that came out this year, which was a revival of sorts. I later saw her and the boys at Twilight Concert Series, probably my favorite Twilight Concert Series show of all time.
Oh, I've heard. I was not at that show, but I have heard.
It was
I've heard many a tale.
The best show of all the Twilights that I saw. I am, of course, referring to Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. Came out with 100 Days, 100 Nights that year. This is my favorite song off of it. We're going to play 3 songs. Mine, Nick's, Clay's. We're coming back. Jeff Gway's going to join. More music of 2007. More goofs coming up. Polyester Blend. Stick with us. Come on, Rob. Where do you have to go? You're the only one listening. Polyester Blend. We'll be back after some songs.
outdoors, but you were running through fields of hitchhikers, as the story goes. Hooray, hooray, I'm your silver lining. Hooray, hooray, but now I'm gone. Hooray, hooray, I'm your silver lining. Hooray, hooray, but now I'm gone. In the grass it was a ticking, and the sun was on the rise. I never felt so wicked as when I willed our love to die. And I was your silver lining, as the story goes. I was your silver lining, but now I'm gone. Hooray, hooray, I'm your silver lining. Hooray, hooray, but now I'm gone. Hooray, hooray, I'm your silver lining. Hooray, hooray, but now I'm gone. But now I'm gone. But now I'm gone.
Our first assembled set list of 2007. We ran through 4 different beautiful songs. Oh my God in heaven. We just heard Rilo Kiley, Silver Lining. That was Steph's pick. How to get it in there. Steph, that's for you. And then, of course, before that, we had my favorite choice that Nick made for 2007 off that Panda Bear album, the beautiful 1 minute and 45 second song, Panda Bear, fantastic. That album, man, is it so hard to unmute you guys? Oh my Christ in heaven.
Hey Noodles.
We are back, Panda Bear.
God.
Before that, we
Did you
had.
just want to do this show by yourself, Ryan, or what?
We got a lot of elements going on here, boys. Got a lot of elements going on here. We have a new guest that I want to bring up, but he refuses to unmute his mic, so I can't do anything about it. We just heard.
Can we talk about that set for a second?
Yeah, absolutely. Go.
Who picked LC Sound System?
That was me. That was my favorite song of.
That's the right choice.
And I want to dedicate that song to Jerry Sloan, When Someone Great Is Gone.
Shit. Well, wait. Before you go any further, we got reports back that everyone's favorite part of the show was the sports talk. Everyone loved the sports. They only love sports. And that's why, and he didn't get to give his
I
picks.
thought it was just Rob that liked sports.
Yeah, Rob is the only one who loves sports. He always chooses sports before puzzles or being by himself quietly in his apartment. We had a gentleman on last week who was a hit. The people loved him. Teen Beat Polyester Blend Edition said he's the #1 hunk out there. We love him. He is Jeff Guay from Montana, and here he is wearing goofy glasses.
Are you out in the shed? Oh no, there's a nice fire burning.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm live. Trying not to bring too much Ted Kaczynski vibes, but I am in a cabin in Montana right now.
Oh, are you at the cabin?
You're giving Schlegel a run for his money, but you didn't. Schlegel was going to move the studio to his garage.
Yeah, and you just, for people who don't know, Jeff Guay is deep in the Montana wilderness. How do you get fucking reception out there?
Just using my phone for a hotspot, and
it's working gloriously. There's a fucking roaring fire in the background. Holy shit!
I'm kind of jealous right now. Of the vibes.
Dude. Thank you for indulging me, guys. You ever heard of cabin porn? We could do that right now if you want to.
You know, I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that one. But thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it.
With those glasses, you look like you're very prepared for cabin porn.
By the way, Nick, did you realize you're doing the perfect 2007 because you're doing Geologist from Animal Collective with your fucking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why.
Sure it was. Thank you, Jeff.
No, it's because Jeff put his sunglasses on. So.
He's
So there was a Panda Bear track. Speaking of Animal Collective.
Yes, but Nick, did you pick that one because you were like, all the other ones are very long, or did you really genuinely like?
Oh no, I love that track.
It's a great song.
That album. So that's weird. That was actually my number 4. So I assumed that someone else double picked one of my top 3, but that album I think was my favorite of the year that year. I don't know that I would say that now, but it's not like a good album for like top tracks of the year, really. But that
Pitchfork would agree with you. They ranked that the number 1 out of their top 50.
Yeah, that was the first. That was maybe the only time that they agreed.
That you agreed with Pitchfork?
Yeah.
But as a complete album in the winter of 2007, I listened to that fucking album so much. Just as a complete album, you just go through that. God, I love that Panda Bear, that first Panda Bear album. Did you listen to that one, Jeff Quay? Or were you too busy out in the woods masturbating?
It's a great album to masturbate to. Though.
Oh my God.
I had that album burned onto a CD that I would ride around town with in my car.
Damn.
And I really dug it. And I kind of think that period in my life was maybe like the big last hurrah for CDs. So that's one thing I really love Animal Collective for, is that I had them like on CD. And that might be like the last solid band that I like had a current like CD of, you know. So that was I missed those days in a certain way.
Yeah. This is right around when I first got my first iPod, I guess. I was like a late adopter with that though.
I just had a weird moment of synchronicity because I realized when I mentioned earlier that I was on tour with my band in 2007, I was on tour with a rapper by the name of Black Nasty, who was actually roommates with Panda Bear at Boston University.
Whoa!
Strange,
really?
I swear. Just as a
That's
strange,
insane.
and they were at art. They went to art school together. Is my understanding.
And he was, and Black Nasty or whatever his real name is, was like, I think I'm just gonna like rap some super crazy shit about Anne Frank. What are you gonna do?
Oh, become one of the biggest, underground artists of the early 2000s, basically. But yeah, they were. I think he featured on one of his, or he produced one of his tracks once. Anyway, yeah, just
Panda Bear produced one of Black Nasty's tracks.
Yes.
That is insane.
Anyways, don't ever
Fantastic
Google the lyrics.
content. I can't believe it. They're giving a little bit. I love we should do a whole oral history of the Rodeo Boys. We'll get George. We'll get the whole crew back together.
I didn't name drop the band. I'm sorry. It was applicable content, man.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Wow. Well, Jeremy's coming up after the next music break, and he just said he has a great Black Nasty story. So we can't wait to get to that one. We're going to play some more music. But first, Jeff, you messaged me earlier and said you have a great song from 07. And I was like,
yeah.
So let me just play it. Let me see if these guys can hear it. Okay, so you said great song from 07.
Beautiful song.
You'll pardon me if I could say good morning, Lindsay. You'll pardon me, but I'm very,
Jeff,
very busy.
It seems a little... Jeff, we're not talking 1907. We're asking for songs from 2007. Did you know that?
Well, bear with me a little bit, because this one's pretty cool. This is
okay. Let's just listen to it a little bit more.
I thought best of 07, and I instantly went to Billy Murray and Ada Jones. The song is called
An Old-Fashioned Walk.
Walk together. Yep. Hey, message from me to Billy Murray and Ada Jones. I'll take an old-fashioned walk with you anytime.
Absolutely. I'll take a walk down. I love that there was a pre-Bill Murray who was popular first. He's the winner of Billy
Way
Murray.
early.
Billy question: were the songs written in 07, or was this recording produced in 07?
That's a good question. I can tell you from my research what I really like about this woman, Ada. What was her last name again? Ada Jones? She was one of the first women ever to record her vocals on the old school super analog format called the Edison wax cylinder. And so that's pretty sick, like
Nice.
super underground. If you even listen to one of those wax cylinders, you destroy it. That's how serious these recordings
Jeff
are.
Quay, you're a master of all forms of media because we were just trying to do one little bit about he thought 1907, not 2007. But then you actually do some fucking research and make it all worthwhile.
That song's from 1907?
Yeah, right. It ages really well, right? You thought it was from 2007?
You come out.
I thought it was from 7 AD.
07 AD.
Yeah, I thought it was, you don't even need to say the O.
Yeah,
I think
right.
7.
You just say 7.
Yeah.
Back in 07 AD.
Saying 07 is a little presumptuous back then. That makes it seem like there's going to be 10. You know?
Well, yeah, because you're like, dude, it
Things
was
were not so
only
certain.
it was only 7 years ago that Jesus died. How could you bring it up already?
Oh God, you guys!
I'm sorry. I was just trying to compile an end of year list. Remind everybody about Jesus getting murdered.
Yeah, Jeff thought
Segway alert.
Jeff thought we were doing a list from 1907 to 2007, and this was number
Wait, that's
100.
not how time works. Wasn't that we were marking from Jesus' birth? Didn't Jesus die in 32 AD?
Oh, okay.
Fucking Kubarsh
He was only 7.
Kubarsh had
Jesus hadn't even put out his first singles yet.
Kubarsh would have had us. He had the 10,000s, medieval times music ready to go.
That's right.
If he came on.
So here's my.
Wait, hold on.
Here's my top 10 of singles that were popular when Jesus was 7. 07.
Which Way to Bethlehem? Number 10. Number 9.
Jesus' best single was that Hotel California that was in Spanish, though.
Oh my God.
Yep.
From the popular movie.
By the way, a song that if I never hear again, I will be very happy.
That's a bummer. By the way, breaking. This is breaking, everybody. This is breaking news. Jeff, I don't know if you saw the segment earlier because probably no one else is watching. But Ryan Bradford is in jail. I don't know if you heard about it. He went to fucking Lake Havasu. He would have been with us this week, but he was in Lake Havasu. Got arrested chugging a beer. But I just got a voicemail from him. Let me see if this plays. Let me see if this works. All right. Let me try this.
Hey everybody, Ryan Bradford here,
Oh, this is
reporting
drama.
not reporting, but in the Lake Havasu jail where I was popped for parking too hard. I didn't know that it was illegal in America.
Oh no, Ryan, what happened? Oh Jesus, sorry. I mean, he's in the jail. Maybe it doesn't work that well there. We'll find.
Reception isn't.
These technology can only get you so far. Let me see if this works better. Let me try this.
So Lake Havasu, that's in Chile?
That's in Arizona.
He said he lives in Santiago with that.
Yeah.
Santiago. That's a good. That's a good one. Yeah, you're like 8 levels deep right now, Nick.
Trying to get this to work.
Are you wearing a Chilean miner's light for?
Nice one.
Geographical reference.
Nice one. Was that in 2000? No.
No. Oh, the
What
Chilean
is
mining
that?
disaster? That was a little later.
That was like a few.
That was like 5 years ago.
What
It's hard to keep track.
What are current events that happened in 2007? Like,
Yeah, I was supposed
George
to
W.
Google
Bush
that.
was still president.
Well,
Remember that?
the election
Hold on.
was a year away, so no, yeah.
Honestly, like some people think the housing crisis was like already going on in 2007. Like
Right.
kind of
People in the woods in Montana
Yep.
were thinking that for sure.
It was one of those kind of things.
Right.
But I kind of think of like the right before the housing crisis when I still had a Washington Mutual bank account. Remember that?
WAMU,
That's
yes.
2007. I woke up one morning and the bank I went to had a different color and name on it. And I was like, all right.
Holy shit.
What?
I think I banked at Wells Fargo still.
Oh, nice.
Nasty.
I tried so hard.
Black.
Well, Ryan Bradford, that was a great effort, but technology did not get you where you want to go. I hope you're
Can't
okay.
you just
on that.
put? Can't you just put it on speakerphone and
I
hold it up to
tried.
the
I can't figure
microphone
it
like a
out.
normal person?
How do I do it? It won't give me
You
the
hit
option to.
speaker on
Yeah, I
your
think
phone.
that's it.
It's not working, man.
Really?
I'm trying, yeah.
Do you need me to tell you how an iPhone works, buddy?
I got a shitty iPhone. This thing's garbage. I'm going to throw it in the fucking jail. I bought it in 2007. It was the first iPhone that came out, by the way. That happened in 2007 to segue to what you boys were talking about. Very, very good times for all of that.
Oh, that's a big deal.
That was a very big deal. All right, well, let's see here.
iPhone 1.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's too bad that we can't get transmissions from jail.
I know. We'll try. We'll work on it. Maybe it'll come
Well,
through.
so like, guys, I kind of joined in like about halfway through the last set. What were some of the early songs on that set, and who chose them?
I chose Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings came out with 100 Days. 100 Days, 100 Nights. That was a great fucking album. Go listen to that. Still holds up very well. Clay picked out LCD Sound System, Someone Great, which is the number one song of 2007. You're just right. I knew one of us would pick that. It's the right choice. And then we had Nick do it, Panda Bear, and then Steph wanted a Rilo Kiley song that really meant a lot to her. And I think it's time to now get into even more music. It is time for part number 2. And Jeff, I got your choice from last week. We're going to put that in there on this next collection of music. After this, we're going to bring in Jeremy Matthews, who put together a whole segment. He's not in a cabin like our good friend Jeff Quay, which we love, but he is ready with a bit, and I can't wait to do it. This next track, this may be the most 2007 song to me. And we'll see what other ones we have here. Clay has got some great choices. Quay, Nick, we got 4 songs. We come back. Jeremy Matthews. This is probably my most number one.
Most number oneist?
This is the most number oneist. This is Justice Dance.
I'm glad you did this.
We're playing this song. We're coming back. 4 songs, more Polyester Blind, more 2007. I'm going to put the Zoom in the chat too. Join the conversation. We'll be back.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah, okay.
I've got to get up to get down and start all over again. Head on down to the basement and shout, kick those white mice and black dogs out. Kick those white mice and baboons out. Kick those baboons and other motherfuckers out and get it on. Get it on the day that you got born. They had to dig him from the ground. They chipped him from the frozen snow. They dug his monkey fingers, but he had nowhere to go. They dug his pink hair curlers. They dug his sequin gown. They dug his Stratocaster. They dug his pornographic crown.
He's got some words of wisdom.
I got some words of wisdom.
He's got some words of wisdom.
I got some words of wisdom. Get it on. Get it on the day that you got born. He crawled out of the ooze. He defied evolution. He had green flippers and sang the blues. He caused a revolution. I got in the British weeklies. He got in the dailies too. He drank Panther Piss and fucked the girls you're probably married to.
He's got some words of wisdom.
I got some words of wisdom.
He's got some words of wisdom.
They got some words of wisdom. Get it on. Get it on the day that you got born.
Get it on. Get it on.
All right.
Get it on. Get it on.
You gotta do that bone. Yeah, and peppers down. Yeah, sweets is sweet. And touches on. Then one day he went away. His neighbor claimed he shot him. If he hadn't have disappeared, that tax man would have got him. Yeah, but before I leave, I call out from the storm for those who gave their lives so we could get it on. Get it on. Get it on the day that you were born.
Get it on. Get it on. Get it on. Get it on.
People, that was Black Dice. One of the craziest choices you could pick from 2007.
I got a good story about that though.
I can't wait to hear it. Tell me right now.
First of all, I love it. They were my favorite bands at the time. It was like the tail end of the New York psych shit. But Jim and I flew to New York early 2007 to see them live, and we brought one hit of acid each with us. If you know. Anyway.
So that's a cool story.
We did. No. And Bowery Ballroom, it was fucking amazing. But we went to see this other band, Acceptor, too, and we got stuck at this bar with our friend who lived in New York watching playoff football, and the acid kicked in while we were at this packed bar, this sports bar, watching the Seahawks. And it was like honestly one of the most fun memories of my life. And there was like, man, should we even go to the concert? We got these like $100 tickets, and there was this weird shit where like anytime there was a player named something Jones, and anytime one of the announcers said his name, we would yell Jones really loud in the bar, and it got to the point where everybody in the bar was doing it.
Holy
every
shit.
time that he said Jones, and then we had to book it to the show, and just like
that does sound fun. Drugs. Why do you go to a show when you have drugs? Jeff Guay can attest to the time he went to a show in Arizona. This was years before 2007. And tried going to see a show and never quite made it. We'll save that for another time, Jeff Guay. But Jeff Guay, so that last song you heard, Black Dice, that was a choice by Nick Faulkner. Jeff Guay, Grinder Man. I had this fucking album. I love this song. What's your memories of it?
Yeah. I just remember it being like I really like the Dirty Three, and I really like Nick Cave, and I just
did you see the Dirty Three Moroccan show back in the day?
I didn't see that.
Oh man,
I did see them play once, probably around 2007-ish, and it was incredible. I've never seen Nick Cave. I just have failed at life in that way. But the Grinder Man album just came out. Like, I feel like it was like those guys were just basically being like, yeah, we still fucking rock and we still play shit that you want to hear.
And he was talking about his angst and all that shit about getting older. That was actually my introduction to Nick Cave. Sorry, not that smart in 2007. Didn't really hadn't gone down the deep dive of the Bad Seeds and Happy Birthday and all that shit. Very good. I listened to that album a fuck ton. Clay, Dinosaur Jr., did you know you and Jeff had this as the same pick? And I asked Jeff to find another song because you had this one, Clay.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this that album was it was exactly 10 years since the last Dinosaur Jr. record. Jay Mascis put out stuff under the Fog title, and also it was the return of Lou Barlow to the lineup and the return of Murph at the time, right? Murph started on back, at least playing live. I don't know if he's playing drums on this record. I'd have to go back and check it, but it was the first time Lou Barlow was back in the band for 22 years. So anyway, and then that's the title. That's the come off track, and I was like, damn! When I first heard that, I was like, they are back. So that's exciting.
Clay, did either one of you see him that year? Did they tour that year?
I'm sure they toured. I don't think they came here.
Jeff, did you see it all?
I do have a memory that I'll just go ahead and say it was 2007, but it might have been. It was right around that time. I saw a band when I was living in Portland. I can't remember what the band's name was or who I was there to see, but they were the headliner. And Jay Mascis was just like the drummer for this random kind of like punk band.
Were they called Wank Factor 7? Wank Factor 7? I know he was.
I think I would remember that.
That was my all-time favorite band name. I know he was a drummer in a band called Wank Factor 7.
All right, people, that was our last set. We got more music coming, but right now we got a sweet boy. He put more work into this than Clay. I had to buy Clay a microphone. That's how bad. Clay's barely doing anything here. But let me just say this. It's an ode to Joy. He is the chat leader. He is probably the Wes Borland of the Limp Bizkit crew. He is number one boy, Jeremy Matthews. Jeremy, you're joining the Zoom. You there, my friend?
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Oh, you
Gosh.
sound. Oh, he's got a microphone too. He's not fucking
look at
around. Enough of Ode to Joy.
And I'm here to do a tasting of Grid City beers with Clayton. You specifically said, go get these beers. We'll both have them and we'll taste them together. And that's what this segment is about.
Boy, I must have drank all my Grid City beers and made that promise after the fact.
Jeremy, do you
shit.
realize that Clayton can't
This is
hold on to that
embarrassing.
many beers at the same time? You know that, like, that many beers in front of Clayton, they're gone in 20 minutes. You know that, right?
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
And I never should have agreed to.
Yeah, to hold. He would never hold up that side of the
Yeah,
bargain.
I never would have thought Clayton would wait to drink a beer. That was
I'm all
rookie
about
mistake right there.
What, are those really unopened Grid City beers that you have in front of you?
I just opened the hoppy pilsner. So
Is
I'm
this your
drinking that
first?
one now.
Is this your first session with the brand?
I have had the brown, which is this orange one, the pale ale. I've had all three of these. The brown is quite good. It's
Does this brewery give you guys money or something?
yeah, they're an official, unofficial sponsor of.
I don't know what you're
Polyester
talking
Blend.
about, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
I haven't tried the honey cream ale yet, though. That's the one I haven't had yet. But I'd
Well,
say my
knock it
favorite
down. Chug it.
probably the
Yeah.
pale ale and the brown ale. What were your favorites, Clayton?
I don't remember.
He doesn't remember. Are you kidding me? He's not looking for notes. He's
No,
like,
okay,
oh, it's
I
got
think-
alcohol. Tap right into that
No,
motherfucker.
I think they're. I remember their hoppy pills as being my favorite of the bunch.
You didn't like the Czech pills? That's what I really thought that was going to be my favorite. I like Czech
But I
pills.
was overall. It was more of an overall thing. I really thought it was, a good beer to session out on. Wasn't too. All the beers that they have were not like too intense or too over the top. Very fresh, very nice.
Yeah, they
Very
are,
good.
They
Very
are all
fresh, very
sessionable
nice.
and quite good. So cheers, Grid City. Good luck with this.
Yes.
Bad timing on your
Wow.
opening. So
I would,
what
and
I
I
thought.
and I fucking love him. Justin Bellevaux is a fantastic man, and I hope him the best. He's been working on that for so long, and it seemed like he was poised to kill it. That was going to be another one of these.
Their
breweries.
branding is so on point.
Branding,
It was like
location.
Yeah,
I thought
everything.
it was. What a bummer. Fucking
yeah, it's a
pandemic.
cool looking place.
they are poised. They are poised for great success in the
watching?
future. Justin, if you're watching, you can Venmo
They
me
better be, because I
money.
haven't got my fucking credit card chart yet. I'm waiting that money. You better be fucking watching, Justin. You are here, Jeremy, with Jeff Gway. Nick Faulkner's here, of course, Clayton Scrivener. We're all here, and we're all very excited. You other three boys and Jeremy, you're going to have to look on the... Don't turn on the YouTube noise, but watch it. Jeremy put together fucking graphics like a goddamn champion. This segment is called, of course... Well, I kind of changed the name of it a little bit, Jeremy. It's Did You Know I Saw Them at Kilbey Court? 2007 edition with Jeremy Matthews. He is going to talk about the shows he saw at Kilbey Court, because he is #1 Salt Lake boy for seeing good local music at a cool hit place. Jeremy, I got your graphics. You tell me what to do. Go.
All right. Well, as you can see, I believe it starts with just kind of a blank thing with the background of Kilby.
Beautiful.
But
Beautiful.
let's go
Can we
right
see
in.
that? Can we see it on the chat?
You're gonna okay. Let me share the screen with you boys. Let me share the screen. Let me share it.
Sorry, I interrupted.
All right,
Yeah,
man.
I just
The video's delayed,
Ryan's running this thing.
No, it's a
and
shit show. It fucking
I can't be
sucks.
held responsible for
He did a
what-
great job, and I fucked it up. I fucked it. No,
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Okay,
nice.
here we go. So, Jeremy,
Jesus.
now everyone can see it, and you go, my friend. You want number 2?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Move on.
go right into it.
So I figured we'd start with a quick look at both the graduates, the bands that if you didn't see them at Kilby Court yet, the ship sailed in 2007.
Ooh, great choice.
So
great choice.
we're talking about Band of Horses. We're talking about Jenny Lewis, the Rabbit Fur Coat tour in 2006. She still played that at Kilby, but after that,
we
it
just
was
played
moved on.
Rilo Kiley. That was Steph's pick of
Yeah.
2007.
And then of Montreal, Hissing Fauna, Are You the Destroyer? Pumped them up to In the Venue. And then they kind of had that peak, and then they plateaued back around Urban Lounge level.
Oh, fuck. I wish, God.
But never
this is
went
so
back
good.
to Kilby.
Did you? I saw them.
They'll
Jeremy,
go back someday.
they played at. I went to Pitchfork in Chicago that year, and they played there. It was a fantastic time. But never got into them. But I there was a moment there for 2 years. You're saying, Jeremy, they were fucking massive for the indie scene or whatever.
Yeah, well, and Kevin Barnes had it was kind of like once he had money, he wasn't like, oh, I'm going to save this money. He was like, I'm just going to do really weird shit on stage.
God, fuck yes.
So they do little, numbers when they played at Kilbey back when I saw them at Kilbey. My band
You
actually
like ride
opened for
a
them at Kilbey.
gold painted horse out or whatever.
Yeah, well, I saw them at the they played at like the Murray Theater, and I think it was because it was the only place with a big enough stage. And this was a couple albums after Hissing Fauna, so it was kind of like the Hissing Fauna money was in check. So I think it might have been the tour right at like for Skeletal Lamping, but it was like there was this whole priest scene, like they were rolling out entire sets for each song. The in the venue show for Hissing Fauna was more of just like a cool, like they had a light up platform stage. But anyway, we're getting a little off topic because the point is ship sailed. You're not going to see a Montreal at Kilbey Court. The Shins were kind of there and then already gone because
they were on their tail end of their what was that, Garden City bump or whatever, Garden State bump.
Yeah, they had
the Garden State bump.
They were
Grid City bump is there.
You got that. Grid City's
We're
gonna
on the Grid City bump right now. The Garden State bump is what. Yeah,
the Garden State bump.
This is where when anyone mentions the Shins, this is when I have to obligatory mention that I was in the band with someone from the Shins. Thank you very much. Anyway,
was it the one who was a woman
kicked
beater?
out? Yeah, kicked out.
What's that guy's name? He had a food truck in Portland.
Yeah. God, why am I blanking on his name? I know his name.
The Skins, and it was all potato skins. You know what I'm saying? Come on, people.
Marty. His name was Marty.
Yeah.
Marty
McFly. My thing about the Shins, and I think about this a lot with with bands like so they got a huge bump from Garden State, and who wouldn't want your music prominently featured on a hit indie movie? But that movie is so bad, like what do you do? It's like a deal with the devil where it's like, fuck, I'm going to be forever associated, for me at least, and I'm the only person who matters to me because it's me. But Garden State sucks, and now I think the Shins suck, even though I like that record before.
Well, there's an interesting story that when he was trying to get funding, he actually made the soundtrack album as part of the pitch. So when you think about it like that, the Shins are kind of responsible for Zach Braff getting to make that movie.
Fuck.
Well, I heard that. So it's always like, well, don't make an album unless it might be bad.
I thought he had a contractual. They had an initial contractual discussion with Hoobastank, but it fell through, so they went with the Shins out.
Hoobastank.
I've heard there are a few different versions of the story. I don't like to fact check things. I think it sours. I just like to say whatever feels right.
Yeah, we're all very familiar with the ins and outs of Shins history. We all know it.
I'm a Shins conspiracy theorist. Do you know also that the most crazy music-related conspiracy theory I heard today? Real quick, just a quick segue.
It's the middle of Jeremy's segment. But go ahead.
It was
the Winds of the whole rhythm of my segment. But go ahead.
Winds of Change by Scorpions was actually a deep psyops operation by CIA.
We all know that. I
didn't know that.
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Everyone knows
I've
that.
I've never heard that.
Obvious.
Hopefully, this isn't an ops.
This is a psyop operation by the CIA who are huge fans of Grid City Brewing.
Clayton's a little cuckoo. He doesn't know what we all know from years now. Jeremy, sorry to break your concentration. You keep going with this Emmy award-winning segment.
Then I just had some of the notable locals that played at Kilbey in 2007.
Noticing Rodeo Boy's not on there.
They were not. I think I didn't see Rodeo Boys on the list.
Once again, I would say that we were not allowed to play Kilbey Court. Wasn't our crew. Wasn't our crowd.
That's a great list of bands. Go through it.
Because you can't drink at Kilbey. But you got Band of Annuals. You've got Future of the Ghost. Will Sartain, of course. That was kind of the phoenix rising from the red tape ashes, if you will.
So many local music heads, Jeremy, fucking loving what you're doing, but none of Rob doesn't know. So you're the viewership.
Kid Theodore. I was looking at the list; is all over the place. And then Tolchak Trio, Legends, obviously.
Great band.
So, anyway, then as you move on, we have kind of the indie workhorses, as I like to call them.
Oh, do you want me to go to the next slide?
Please move
I
along
fucking
to the
love
next
this.
slide.
Look what he did. Look what he fucking did here. This guy's fucking on top
This
of
is
it. here.
efforts, man. I love your font choices too. They're all on
Beautiful.
point.
Beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Well, as you can see, I've just thrown out a few of the bands that Menomina, October 27th. They always put on a really good show. I don't know if anyone caught them. These are bands.
I was actually at that show. Yeah.
I cannot believe these two bands played there in 2007.
So these are kind of long, hardworking indie bands. You got Grizzly Bear, you got Blitz and Travel.
Wait, am I playing the right
Winters.
one? Wait, sorry. Maybe I'm playing the wrong one. Hold on. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're
okay,
way off.
Sorry. Way off.
Trying to build up here. Damn it.
Oh, don't leave it up to me or I'll ruin it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I should have just let me take over the whole thing. And yeah, so Heartless Bastards, Grizzly Bears, Long Winter, Blitzen Trapper, Dirty Projectors, Menomina. I really loved Menomina every time I saw them at Kilbey. And then there are some others that didn't make the graphic because I didn't really have time to make another slide because
Listen,
Janine wanted to go on a bike ride.
Jeremy,
but-
just let me just say, Leonardo didn't need to add another face to the Mona Lisa. It was
Yeah.
already perfect. Okay, so
But
this
just-
thing is
just-
beautiful.
Just to throw out a few more good ones: Elf Power, the Black Angels, Lightning Bolts, if you like it
I
loud.
love lightning bolts.
Oh man, I missed that one.
I didn't go, but I think this is an emo band that's gotten kind of popular. Saves the Day.
Oh my God!
They played on October 4th. I don't know. I don't think I'd give that personally very many handlebar mustaches on the brag score. But
Did you go to all these shows, Jeremy?
not all of them, but a good number of them.
Where did you access that? Do you have this written in a journal somewhere, or is this like online or something?
I actually, when they did the block party,
yeah, they wrote down everyone who's played.
they made that list of everyone who's played. So I hit up Will Sartain, and he kindly gave me access, and that's how I was able to see like which local bands played the most. Because
that was a really smart
I wouldn't
idea.
have remembered King Theodore. I mean, I would have known Tolchak Trio.
That's a really.
And you got his express
actually-
permission to use the Kilbey Court official logo too. What's the?
I wouldn't say he gave me permission.
I should email them.
that
I've
would
been
be
trying to
great.
find anything about this band, Black Hole, that I saw a bunch of times in 2007, but there's like nothing online about it. There's like one Eric Lopez Slug article.
Well, then it was probably made up, Nick. I mean, to be honest, if Eric Lopez. Jeremy, the one thing, Dirty Projectors is how many years away from that fucking album they did? Was it 2010?
They signed to Domino in 2008, so the very next year.
Which
Beta
when you say-
Orca was 09.
Yeah, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Is that the
09.
record that you're referring to?
Because it was fucking everywhere. It was huge.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Well, it's a great record.
and they've kind of faded a little bit, but I think you could maybe argue for handlebar mustaches for them, but definitely
better band, Dirty Projectors or Vampire Weekend.
Hold on, we're gonna get to that. But
Oh, we're gonna-
we weren't
Bear-
even supposed to
I
have
know,
seen
we
that
shouldn't have
slide
seen that.
yet, but
I'm
someone.
sorry. But Jeremy,
Yeah.
really quickly, Grizzly Bear is less than a year away to have their most successful album. So you say that they were only 3.5?
I would, I kind of, like I said, I had to merge some slides so I could go on this bike ride with Janine. But there are a few, like, I feel like they aren't necessarily like the huge bands, but I think some of them are better bands. And for like cred, you need to go, you can't always just have gone to like the Shins, then you're kind of basic, right? So you do need a big arsenal of what you've seen at Kilbey Court. You can't just say, oh, I saw like the Decemberists and that was all I saw that year. Or
Can I say something about Grizzly Bear
Jeff,
for a
shut
second?
the fuck
go
up,
for it.
Jeff. No one wants to hear from you.
2007, and Nick, you randomly mentioned Eric Lopez, and if he's listening, I want him to know that I think of him when I think of the year 2007.
He's not.
I have another Eric Lopez story later.
This
too,
was a
actually.
very, this was a
But
heavy, this is a heavy
this is a
Eric.
big year for
Yeah.
Elo.
This may be Apex Eric Lopez.
So 2007, I was like randomly writing very randomly writing articles for Slug, usually they would just like end up online, and they'd be about some like weird DVD box set that they got in the mail. And they're like, "Hey, you should write about this. We'll put it online." And anyways, Eric, who worked for Slug at that time, he was like, he got press passes to the Sasquatch Festival in Washington, the Gorge Amphitheater.
I went to that, I think, in 2008 or 9.
Yes, I remember you going to that, Jeff.
I went with Lopez to the 2007, and we saw
just
Grizzly
the two of you.
No, Barb was with us actually.
From Juniors?
Barb from Juniors?
Yep.
No way.
No, Barb from Arctics. Younger Barb, comedian Barb.
Barbara Gray.
Barbara Gray,
Yeah.
fucking famous stand-up comedian.
It was the three of us when we went to Sasquatch, and I would say that Grizzly Bear was probably one of the best shows that I saw that whole time. It was at a smaller stage. Those places are super weird for like actually listening to music. They're more for like doing hacky sack and stuff like that.
Jim and Christian were at that one.
Oh, nice.
Jeremy, how many times do you think people phoned it in at Kilbey? Because I could see that Grizzly Bear was like, take the night off, boys. We're getting ready for the Gorge. We don't need to really knock the fucking socks off Salt Lake City here tonight.
I don't know. I saw some pretty great shows at Kilbey. I'd be other than Chick 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 and their encores or Ghost Incident.
Well, they're dicks everywhere. They're not.
Yeah,
that's not geographically.
I think I'd say, I think bands often put in the effort, but when it's an interesting dynamic at Kilbey because some shows are absolutely packed when it's someone that's, like the Shins, as we talked about earlier.
Weird
like
Al Yankovic.
The last Kilbey Court Shins show was completely like packed to the brim because they'd
changed people's lives.
I don't think Garden State actually. I don't think Garden State was actually out when they played Kilbey, but they'd already started, kind of.
People have already turned on that fucking shit. All right, let's go to the next one. I already fucking revealed it a little bit. I'm sorry about that. This blows my fucking brain away. These two bands played Kilbey in 2007. Arguably, the one on the left, Ockerville River, their biggest album was that year. Am I wrong?
Not when Lou Reed said that they were going to be the next great American rock band.
That was their big moment.
And
Lance gave me a CD of theirs, and I was like, "Whatever," and threw it in the trash. It's like it doesn't look good to me. And
I got a confession: I have never listened to an Ockerville River song all the way through.
Is the one that
Sorry,
but Clay, no one else has in the last 10 years either. So you're fine. They had their moment, and it's over.
Which is is part of the half. They got docked a half mustache, as you see.
Yeah.
Vampire Weekend. Was it Bradford who's not here? He
only cares about Save the Day. He would have left the fucking show after that.
No, but someone mentioned, that they really liked Vampire Weekend at the time. 2006.
I think it was Brad.
Didn't we do a deep dive on Vampire Weekend last week?
I think you're right.
I don't. Yeah, I was just referencing.
Band I used to like.
That album last year redeemed. First, I think we're all sleeping on it.
Sensitive boys on the cusp.
I think Vampire Weekend came back. Listen, they all listened to Graceland. They're like, why don't we just do another one? And they did it. It was like, what's wrong with that? Fucking Graceland's a great record. That's a great record.
Graceland owns, so yeah.
Why not? Just go for it.
I remember my friend Brett. Everyone was loving Vampire Weekend. My friend Brett took me by the scruff of the neck and said, "No one's going to give a shit about this band in another 10 years." And he was kind of right.
Well, here's the question: did Vampire Weekend go to South Africa and play with?
No,
they went to a fucking island.
The thing is, Paul Simon put in the work. He brought in African.
I
don't think
entirely appropriation.
Yeah.
Why do you
I don't think Vampire Weekend has ever seen a black person before.
I think, yeah.
Why do they get? Does it really sound that much like Paul Simon? Why do they get that comparison so
completely
consistently?
sounds like Graceland.
I've never heard that comparison.
Come on, it sounds like Graceland.
Because they use the funky time signatures and the high register on the guitar.
I always think about the steel drum with Vampire Weekend. I don't think that's like a Paul Simon.
I don't.
I honestly have not thought of like them as like oh, this is just a Paul Simon knockoff.
I think
to be honest,
they're
but
poised
I
for their Guy Fieri rebound, where Guy
I
Fieri
think-
was shit on for years, and people were like,
I think
"Actually,
we've
this guy's
officially talked about Vampire Weekend way too much.
And
Well,
2
we're
episodes
talking
in a
about
row.
Guy Fieri
Jeff's
now.
got to get back to plotting out his next bomb attack up in his fucking
Exactly.
cabin in
That's
Montana.
my friends-
Sorry, bud. Sorry.
My friends who say you're doing just a sports podcast now just are going to start saying you are like a Vampire Weekend fan club at this point.
First of all, look, Jeremy,
If they didn't play at Kilby, we wouldn't be talking about him. So
yeah, that's
Well,
true. Okay,
maybe
before
we're
we get to
talking
number
about
one today, before we get to our next music segment, and Jeremy, take your time. I'm not trying to rush you. I'm teasing two things. After Jeremy's beautiful segment, we're not even done yet with. We're gonna play some music, and then we're coming back. And Jeff, you got to hold on because we got to pay respect to the great Sloan. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. So
please.
before we end to because we got Nick who's on here who loves the jazz. Jeremy's on here who is in Utah,
Loves the jazz.
and we've got fucking Clay and Jeff Quay. So we got to talk about that. We
A lot of
move on
jazz
to-
fans in-
to
a lot of
the
jazz
last-
fans in the room.
To the last one. Go ahead.
okay, yeah. So John Vanderslice, for one thing, like played at Kilbey Court all the time, and he'd always seemed to bring like cool opening acts. This same year in 2007, he also brought Bishop Allen. But April 9th, this was actually before Marry Me came out. He brings St. Vincent to Kilbey Court. To me, that is a 5 handlebar mustache brag story. Because you're getting St. Vincent before anyone hears her. And down the line, especially in Utah, you're going to have people say, oh, I went to that David Byrne Red Butte show with David Byrne and St. Vincent, or I went to the Maverick Center and saw her with Florence and the Machine, or I saw her at Gallivan Center, I saw her at the Depot. So many opportunities to
These
pull
pieces
out.
of shit, Jeremy. Fuck them.
I saw her at Kilbey Court like that.
Rudy.
To me,
Sorry.
that's
Rudy was saying she was
I
at
nailed
that show.
on a 5 mustache score, but I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Was that the
Seeing
most?
Saint Vincent before she became the Saint Vincent that is, that's 5 handlebar mustaches.
Yeah, I think-
she's lit. She's fucking lit. She's gonna go
and
down
she's
as
still
very legit.
at the top of her game, in my
Absolutely.
opinion.
Oh, she's
Yes.
she's a survivor. She's gonna be around for a long.
I saw her before she achieved sainthood, which is
She was just Vincent.
just so
What
just
was
so
it?
like
What
me,
did
like
she
that
do
guy.
to become a saint, Jeff? What did she do to become a saint? If you saw her before that,
Oh, I mean, like
gave
just tons of cool
gave,
stuff. Just
gave
stuff
a
you guys
bunch of
wouldn't
white
know
dudes
about.
indie cred. for
No,
seeing
what
her.
happened is Jeff actually died during the show, and she resurrected him, and that's
Right.
how
Well, maybe
that he made her a saint. He gave her the miracle to perform. So
What do you think Saint Vincent is the saint of?
Giving white dudes indie credit.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, this was. I want this segment more. Whatever you this is fucking beautiful. You did a great job. Please do more of this shit. We're gonna play 3 songs. We're gonna keep it short, and then we're gonna come back. We gotta pay respects to the Sloan. We gotta talk about Jerry Sloan, and then we will finish out the night with our number 1 picks later on. We're gonna do 3 songs. Then we're going to do Sloan Remembrance. You guys, that was beautiful, Jeremy. Great.
I'm
job.
I'm just glad I got a backup segment for the Grid City tastings. And
Exactly.
Clayton-
Because fucking Clay, whoops,
Yes.
it's all gone. All right, my first pick. Okay, I have to play this, and I feel like Nick, would you have picked this? I don't know if you would have. This to me is another quintessential 2007. I didn't see him at Kilby. I did later on the next record, Jeremy, but I saw Dan Deacon at
Oh, yeah,
Urban.
yeah, yeah.
Which were you at that show?
You're
Nick?
officially
I figured
an
you were gonna
early.
pick this one.
You're officially
I
an early adopter.
was at
of
that
the
show
Dan
too, the
Deacon.
Urban Lounge.
Yeah,
so I
dude.
was there.
That was
Dude, I sprained my knee at that show because I was climbing up on the stools
Yes!
to look, and I fell over my leg got caught in the stool, and I fell over the stool and myself, and I did that twice.
I will tell you, I saw Dan Deacon once in Utah at Kilby at that show, and it was pandemonium. Then I saw him at Pitchfork Music Festival, and picture how crazy it was at Urban, and then amplify that in Chicago, and it was in a field, but somehow people were getting killed. Not killed. Okay, whoa, a little ahead of myself there. They were trampling each other because they were all trying to get up on stage with him. Like Dan Deacon in 2007, his live show, one of the best live. It's going to be very hard for me. He is in the top 3 of best live shows.
And he was huge.
Yes. And
he was like skinny early on, and then he just like
he ballooned.
He got gigantic, and then he got kind of skinny again.
He actually came
This
out.
was like peak weight and peak.
He came out with an album. Did you listen to? Was it 2019? He came out with an album. Have you ever? I've stuck with him.
Yeah, we listened to it.
Yeah, I think we listened together.
It sounds like Philip Glass to me.
And that's what I love, is that he's just doing a Philip
Glass.
What
album is this?
This
song
one's
you're
off the
playing
Nick.
Spider-Man of the Rings.
Fucking great. One of the greatest album names of all time. Spider-Man of the Rings. In 2000.
Yeah.
Fucking beautiful. Jeff Gway's here with us. Nick Faulkner's with us. Jeremy Matthews with us. We're coming back to talk about Sloan.
That's a pretty sweet record cover too, dude.
It's fucking great. I'm starting this one out. We're coming 3 songs. We come back. Polyester Blend, Sloan Talk, number 1 of 2007. This is going down in history as one of the greatest polyester blends. We're coming back. I love you all.
Oh, you shocked.
Polyester Blend, 2007. Dan Deacon. We're coming back after 3 songs.
bureaucracy. Yeah, I got more records in the KGB. So, no funny business. You already are. Some I murder. Some of them I let go. Some I murder. Some I let go. All I wanna do is take your money. All I wanna do is take your money. All I wanna do is take your money. All I wanna do is take your money.
All right, we're coming back. We're coming back. John Mouse. God damn. Do I love this man? The other thing that's upsetting, why does it say asked to unmute?
I know, there's this weird permission to unmute these days.
Yeah, I don't know why that's a fucking...
Ask unmute.
Really wish that was not a thing. Sorry, Jeff, I just accidentally clicked it. Unclicked it.
Can we mute your burps from here forward, Ryan? That'd be really good.
Never. Okay, here's what I get pissed off about. Nick, I did not know about John Mouse until the Moon song. Hello Moon? No.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I heard it's pronounced moose.
Is it really? I have no idea. Is that a goof? You're a comedy boy?
I was trying desperately to get a laugh, Ryan. You are the most difficult. You just don't laugh at my jokes. That's fine.
It was a good one.
So we've been doing radio together for 5 years. I don't think you've ever laughed at anything I've ever said.
Anyway, so we got other people here on the chat who have tons of comedy inside of them. I love them all so much. But
I didn't know it was pronounced Moss.
Did you? Now that's comedy. What did you say, Jeremy?
Nothing. No.
Jeremy, let's take that as a no.
Oh,
Strike one.
Jeremy's just kicking back, slamming Grit City beers.
No, I'm just kidding. You're doing great.
Jeff has gone into complete horror movie mode. By the way, can we talk about some horror movies?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about horror in 1 second, but really quickly, let's go through the songs really quickly. Dan Deacon, Crystal Cat, of course, that fucking song rules. Great song, and you're right. I mean, how would we do this show without bringing up MIA?
It just didn't seem right not to play it, man.
It would be fucking insane, and you're right. You brought it up in the chat. Like, it was a huge part of Pineapple Express. I think that was how a lot of people heard about it.
Yes.
Remember? Because, like,
yes.
A lot of us are pretty cool. Like, Jeremy going to fucking Kilbey Court.
I mean, Kala was a darling of the, like, independent media. It was, on many top 10 lists of, the pitchforks and the whatnots. But, like, that song being on the Pineapple Express trailer really shot it into the, stratosphere
blew
as far
that
as popularity.
And I remember everyone loving that fucking video.
This is a cool ass sample, man. The Clash.
I know. That's what I was actually that was one of my favorite Clash songs. So when she fucking picked that, I felt like I had some cred. I was like, I know that song too, like everybody else on the fucking planet. But I was like, I'm pretty cool. Great choice. And then Nick, we were talking about John Mouse. Did you really?
Yeah.
How did you hear about him? Because you and I have discussed how much we enjoy that boy a lot. Where did you?
His first album, Songs, I heard about on Tiny Mixtapes in like 2005, and I got it and I think Jim and I burned that CD for a few folks around town. I think I had that one on vinyl. Songs is his best album, I think.
I had this song on my iTunes because of your mix, Nick. That's how I had this song on there. And then it wasn't until years later where I heard the Moon song, and then I was like, wait, why do I already have this song? I was like, holy shit, this is a great song.
He's one of those artists where, like, I love him, but his albums have definitely gotten a little bit worse each time.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Oh, no. Honestly, I think so. His first one was his best, and then it kind of like gets a little bit worse.
Wait, did Vanessa Carlton Vanessa Carlton really play at Kilbey Court?
Yeah, dude, you're what?
I completely disagree. By the way, Nick,
you weren't there, dude.
I need to really go back and do a deep dive on every album. I can't really say. Oh, sorry, we're having two conversations on what? What, Jeremy?
I mean,
sorry, parallel conversations.
Do a deep dive. It's just true. Like
it's just true. But the last one had fucking pets, and that talks about pets dying.
That's a good song. That's a
great
good song.
song.
No, every album has like a really good.
Are we going to overtime to play the third list? Because
we are going to have to go into overtime. We're going to have to go to the overtime. We're only minutes away from it. But before we get to the next musical thing, we need to talk about the elephant in the room because he's not in the room anymore. He is no longer.
My Black Nasty story.
Wait, what? We have
that for the after party.
We'll get to the.
Did you make out with Black Nasty at my house at an after party or what?
No. Let's not get to Black Nasty. We're paying homage. We're paying homage. All right, just wait till we get to there. We're talking about Jerry Sloan, Jeff Gway, Clayton Scribb, Nick Faulkner, Jeremy Matthews. You take this one, Clay. You start out.
I once had a three-way with Black Nasty and Jerry Sloan.
We have lost Jeremy.
For the dead,
unbelievable. This is so weird. We muted him. It's so uncomfortable. We had to lose him right there. We'll bring him back here in a second now. Clay, go for it. Go for it. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I think anybody who's been paying attention to sports news, there was sports podcast again.
I need to get a graphic for sports, just like
when it's sports.
Yeah, sports.
They knew. I mean, I knew when Malone had that huge Zoom with like a bunch of NBA legends. It was broadcast on ESPN. He said, "You got to pray for Sloan." Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, it's on. It's imminent. And then, the next, I think 2 days later, it happened.
I didn't know that happened. I didn't know the timeline of that.
Yeah. And then, I mean, he had been obviously ill for a long time and slowly kind of going dim and dark and,
Right.
But it was the interesting thing that I had a chance to go back and look at some of his old speeches. He didn't talk a lot. He didn't do a lot of speeches publicly. Right. His induction speech into the Basketball Hall of Fame was something I watched. It's about 12 minutes long. That was
hey everybody, Ryan
youngest
Bradford.
of 10 kids. Dad died at age 4 and lived on a farm 16 miles from the nearest small town.
Raised by their mama?
Yeah.
Wow.
Youngest of 10 kids. It's pretty crazy. But he was. I'm just going to say I'll just say one thing about Jerry Sloan.
Too late.
One of the greatest things about him was if you ever got decent seats where you could hear him during a game, was to see like all these like conservative people around him and the litany and fantastic combinations of swear word laden insults that he would hurl at referees. It was fantastic.
Right.
I remember
a rarity for Salt Lake at the time.
Do you have an example, like a favorite one you heard?
Steve Javy calling. Yes, I heard him call Steve Javy a pig fucker.
What?
Wait.
And his go-to.
This is the kind of shit that the internet needs to know about. So
His go-to was "fuck you, you fucking cocksucker." That was his go-to referee line. You don't need to be a lip reader to hear that to see that happened very, very frequently.
Jeff Gway.
That's a cathartic thing to say.
Yeah.
Like,
you fucking pig fucker.
And Sloan was good at nailing the basics, and that's, you got to know that one.
Yeah.
Fuck you, you fucking cocksucker. Then you can expand it.
Right.
But you got to know how to
expand into the
pig
you can
fucker.
expand towards the pig,
Yeah.
the pig laden.
Yeah, but you need that base first, and that's what Sloan knew about coaching and what he knew about swearing.
He had some fantastic quotes, and I'll just say one more. There was a young player on the team by the name of C.J. Miles in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
Who was young, he was straight out of high school, one of the last straight out of high school pros. Someone asked him, CJ, he was struggling or something, and Jerry Sloan said, "We can't, I can't worry about CJ Miles. I can't put a jock strap on him one day and a diaper on him the next." Anyway,
Jeff Gway, what did you when you heard the news? What was it like for you?
Yeah, I didn't really I hadn't been up on it in the last couple weeks or anything, but yeah, I definitely knew that he was kind of on a downhill, so I wasn't surprised, but okay, so to put it in perspective, Jerry Sloan joined the Utah Jazz organization in 1985, which is the year that I was born. It was the year that Ryan Schlegel was born.
True.
And so I didn't I remembered specifically the day that he retired, and when I found out that he retired, I remember being totally heartbroken because I did not.
It's the only coach you
remember a
knew.
Time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was such a bummer.
Yeah,
and it didn't have to happen. It was
a
the whole
shitty
deal.
end. It was a shitty end.
Do you guys think it was a good time for him to retire anyway, or do you wish Darren Williams hadn't been a punk ass bitch?
D Wills, by the way, D Wills.
D Wills.
I don't think I don't think Jerry Sloan contemplated too much the optics of his retirement.
No.
I just think he was like, fuck this. I'm done.
Is there anyone who likes D Williams?
I do now. I've come back around because I really loved that team actually a lot.
Went to the Western Finals. Went to the final or Western Finals.
Yeah, Western Conference Finals. And I love Darren Williams. Darren Williams was such a bulldog in those days. It's just one of these weird things that also to go back to Sloan, all these players, especially during that period, the 2007 type of Jazz team, almost none of them, except for Paul Millsap, went on to have any kind of career after the Jazz. You look at Boozer, he totally stunk. You look at Darren Williams, he had all these problems.
He was a drunk.
And on the other side of because Boozer.
Boozer was a drunk.
You want to hit the laugh track on that one? The other
Kurylenko went on to win multiple championships.
You're thinking of Chris Bosh.
No, but on this side of Memo Okur, none of them had injuries. I mean, Williams did break his wrist, but I don't think that was the cause of his. I think he wasn't a very disciplined athlete, and I think Sloan kept him in line.
Oh,
I think Sloan just got people to overperform. I think when other coaches got these Jazz players, they're like,
yeah, but
you know how to play basketball. And they're like, no, we know what to do with Jerry fucking Sloan. He tells us what to do, and we do.
You also didn't come to training camp out of shape. You would be sent off the island.
Right. Yeah.
But
really quick, I brought this up the other day, Jeff. We talked about this briefly, but I heard the argument against Sloan's coaching in the '98 Game 6 final, where you've got Pippen, who's a decoy and adjust to that? And why didn't they adjust to that? I mean, I don't know. I don't know shit about basketball, but that sounded like words that made sense.
No, but
can I just say my piece real quick, and then I want to hear what Clayton has to say about that, or Nick, because I was like in middle school during that game, so I didn't really know a ton at that time. But
Clayton was 47.
Clayton was 47.
Yeah, Clayton was a middle-aged man.
Yeah, he just got.
I think I was filling out AARP paperwork at the time.
Yeah, he just got his first Social Security check, so he's like, I'm paying for the sports game.
I think a lot of the supporting cast for the Jazz was sort of like
garbage,
hitting above their weight because they were on that team. Like none of those guys ever did anything. Greg Ostertag, Brian Russell, you never saw them like join another team and do anything. Like they were total Sloan, like garbage heap pickups that he like spit on and shined into NBA basketball players.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's very rare for a Jazz player to go somewhere else and experience success. Very rare.
Yeah.
Well, Malone went to the lake. Oh.
Is there another coach in the NBA right now? Because as you know, I'm not a basketball nerd other than liking the Jazz. But anyone with the longevity that Sloan had,
Popovich,
Greg Popovich, which is he's the last. He's Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the last of the old school coaches left.
Well, that's
he'll be when he's gone. It'll be over.
Yeah, and that's kind of in the Premier League. You had Arsene Wenger at Arsenal and Sir Alex Ferguson. Now that they're gone, everything just seems like a revolving door these days.
Yeah.
So to have someone with like the dedication to a team, I think is something really special. Like you said, he was the only Jazz coach I knew for like my whole childhood growing up watching the Jazz.
I don't remember Leighton. I don't remember.
I do remember
Leighton's Chili golf tournament. Remember that, Clay?
I was born in 81, so he, but I don't remember. I remember seeing him on TV talking about the Jazz, but I don't remember him being coach.
Really quickly, Frank Leighton, after he stopped being coach, still lived in Salt Lake and held a charity chili snow golf tournament for years, where you would play.
Where you didn't need golf carts because you would just use your flatulence to propel you towards the ball. See, Jeff likes my jokes.
No, I love it. I just want to.
Nick didn't even change his facial expression. It just was frowny the entire.
I'm trying to complete my novel.
Trying to make par with all those farts.
He's painting right now.
Yeah. I'm writing the longest fart joke. It's 700.
I came in 2 strokes under fart on my golf today. So.
I'll say though about
Frank Leighton's chili tournament. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
My brother-in-law texted me about it and was like, "I'm so sorry. This is such a bummer." I was kind of in a shitty mood. And the whole like vibe of the Jazz right now is just so painful. And I just
in general, the franchise and everything.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. I mean, you're on Twitter, right? Do you follow like NBA Twitter shit?
No, I try to stay out of it. It is
fucking brutal. Like so even through the Sloan shit, so there's the Gobert COVID stuff, right?
Right.
Well, first of all, like there's like the racist fans, Rudy COVID shit, Last Dance, reliving '98, and then like all the Jazz fans sort of like come back to social media, and there's this thread where this guy was like, okay, Jazz fans, I'm sorry, this is a safe space, let's just like sound off and like, Sloan is dead, like let's just like, air your frustrations and whatever. Mm-hmm. And they couldn't get a word in because everyone was just like, they only know one word, it starts with an N or whatever. And like it just
really?
It's so brutal. And then but one of the best things I saw, I like read through the comments in this forever, and like Jazz fans weren't even like represented because the Jazz hatred was ranking the highest. And one guy was just like, you know what? this sucks. Like, our coach died. We had just had to relive the most painful part of our fandom. And, like, we want to come in here to a community and we just get shit on. Like, and I started thinking, and I was telling, and he's like a Suns fan, and Suns fans try to sort of, like, rep that they're, like, these tortured fans. But I was thinking, like, I think being a non-Mormon jazz fan is, like, one of the most tortured.
Oh, man.
Like,
that's
and
fucking
existence is,
good.
to be honest.
That's a great point.
Because, like, you just fucking get lumped into all the racist, like, Mormon shit, and just, you're white man. Who gives a, you know? And it's like, oh, but they're great. And no one gives shit. And
you know, when you sign up to be a jazz fan, you have to come in eyes wide open to that.
It's hard.
I would argue that no one has ever signed up to be a jazz fan. No one's ever joined the band. It's something that is a blood right. That is like you fucking cut your
It's
nipple.
like I don't know what happened.
What the
have to at
fuck
least
is
get
Clayton
excited if
chomping
they're in the
down on, by
playoffs.
the way? What the fuck was that, Clay? I just saw
That was an orange slice, asshole.
in the midst of everyone would be like, yeah, it sucks being a jazz fan. It's pretty brutal. Clayton's like, yeah.
I was eating a whole food source of vitamin C, man.
You're
Just
doing a
chill
great
out.
job. Jeff, wait. Clay, did you become a jazz fan? Was Vegas always jazz when you were a kid, or was it
No,
your dad?
I mean, you know, I did grow up LDS, so like, you know, in a roundabout way. But you were either a Lakers fan or a Jazz fan growing up in Las Vegas. And little known fact, in the, I think it was 83, 84 season, they played half their home games in
in
Salt Lake,
Vegas.
or in Las Vegas.
Smart.
The Jazz did or the Lakers?
The Jazz did.
Nick,
They were considering moving to Vegas at the
Did
time.
you see them?
I never went to a game, but they held several kids' basketball camps, and I was heavily involved in youth basketball at the time. So I met Daryl Griffith. I met who else? What was the Green? What was his name? Green, the fastest of them all. Anyway, yeah.
Nick,
I met,
really quickly, Nick, would you say if the Golden State Warriors were good in the early 90s, do you think you would have stuck with them? Because you were born in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
So do you think you would have had more connection to them than the Jazz? Because you weren't LDS that I think I know of, right?
No, no. But my dad, like, so we lived in Southern California. We moved from the LA area
SoCal,
to
pretty
Utah.
cool.
So we were in Lakers, but you know, always hated the Lakers. My dad like kind of liked the Warriors, but as soon as we moved to Park City, it was like Jazz. And it took a while for Jim and me to like sign on, and then like that's the only team that Christian has ever rooted for, right?
Oh.
And then, but my dad just like pushed. He's like, "This is the team. This is it." And in early '90s, he was just like, "No, we're Jazz fans," and he just like kind of like drilled it into it.
And Jeff, what about you? Was
Do you ever regret like I could have been a Warriors fan and like reaped the benefit?
Oh no,
of this
I
golden
rooted for the Warriors.
can I just say my favorite Warriors years real quick were Don Nelson as the coach with Manute Bol and Chris Mullen. Manute Bol just like wailing on threes.
Manute Bol's son is
Bol.
Is entering Bol, yeah.
Jeff, your parents were not LDS, I don't think. Am I wrong? So how did your dad just enjoy the Jazz?
Yeah, my brother, who was in Nick's grade, he was obsessed with John Stockton. He thought he was going to be a basketball player. You know, he played at Park City High until like his junior year or something like that. So he was super into it from a super young age, and then that got my dad into it, and then like I kind of got into it by proxy. But that was super young. I was like 5, I think, when I was like, and I don't know, that would have been like 90. So yeah,
I'll just say
not Mormon.
One more thing on Sloan before I get to I want to say one final thing. One thing about Sloan. So here's a guy who comes into the league in what 80. When did he become head coach?
88.
Or
87, 88.
87, 88.
But you know, he was a legendary player for the Bulls.
Sure,
in the
sure.
60s
And which
70s,
is even more, which I don't know why they didn't bring this up in the fucking documentary, that a Bulls great loses to his former team.
Because they just don't care.
They don't give a shit about that. That was one of the most interesting storylines. And also,
how come Schlegel didn't ask me about my religious affiliation?
because you're gonna bring up how you're Catholic and how you went to the same
Does he
fucking
worship
church as Stockton. Did you know this, Jeff Quay? Jeremy will talk about this.
It's a great
Hey
story.
guys, he worshipped Catholic Jesus with John Stockton.
Did you
guys.
know that, Jeff Quay? Did you know
Yeah,
Jeremy
good.
went to the same Catholic church as John Stockton?
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's the right
Saint
reaction.
Vincent, actually.
Oh,
Saint
Jesus
Vincent.
Christ.
Saint Vincent.
Jesus
Did you
Christ.
go to-
That was their
the holy?
parent.
Yeah,
For true, for real.
Jeremy, did you go to Judge Memorial?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Really quick. So Sloan comes in '88, and then he takes him to the finals. I think a decade is reasonable for letting a coach, be the head coach of a team, and it looks like his process worked. The fact that he got another decade, almost, I think he was out in 08, 07. Do you think his system really worked by the end of the D. Williams? Like, was he still did he adjust, or was his pick and roll still the way his
Well,
philosophy?
he absolutely adjusted. He absolutely adjusted.
I would like to put my 2 cents in real quick, though, if you don't mind. I would say
I do.
Yes. For me, Sloan was always he was such a, and it has to do with being the small market, where it's just you're just constantly getting the dregs of the league. And I really kind of believe that most of Sloan's team, including the Stockton Malone teams, were kind of overachieving in a way, because all these weird role players, like we talked about earlier, that Greg Foster. Remember Greg fucking Foster?
Yeah, 6 guns, eh?
You don't remember. Nobody else remembers Greg fucking Foster, but he
Clay
played
does.
meaningful minutes in the NBA Finals because of Jerry Sloan. It's just he just got a lot out of it. I think it was hard for him to gel with the new generation of the Darren Williams was trying to be.
Well, and also don't forget the NBA. The NBA was making rule changes that changed it from a physical league to a pretty boy league.
It's those damn millennials that don't want to work.
Yeah.
All right. Here's unless anyone has some final thought. Clay, this was any final thoughts on Sloan?
I mean, it's the end of an era, and it's I don't think you'll ever see a professional coach in the mold of Jerry Sloan ever again, because that time, because no one will ever get away with being such a hard ass ever again.
And by the way, I will
Maybe
say,
Quinn Snyder.
It's not the greatest.
He's as close as you can get.
Oh, and I like Quinn. I think he's doing great. I will say a recommend for the week, and we'll get to that hopefully in a second, Clay, is that
we go next week. It's all good.
But the Trib got a bunch of the jazz writers to do a podcast about Sloan, and one of them tells this great story of going to Southern Illinois. And he's driving down the road, and it's like Doug's Liquor Shack or something like this. And he goes in, and there's Sloan and Utah Jazz shit everywhere. I mean, not that big of a place, packaged liquor kind of place.
Awesome.
And he brings up, Sloan, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, Jerry comes in here all the time." And 5 dudes who are coming to get their booze are like, "Oh yeah, Jerry fishes over here." Tells this great story of just Sloan. When he goes back to Southern Illinois, he's just fucking the same fucking guy.
Speaking of the booze and Jerry Sloan, let me just tell you one more story. After his wife died of breast cancer in 2004, I believe.
Funny story for our comedy show.
No, sorry. It's after. His quote is after that. He quit smoking. He smoked. He chain smoked Marlboro Lights.
Oh fuck, I love him. I love him.
He chain smoked Marlboro Lights his whole adult life, and after his wife died of cancer, he quit, and he also quit drinking apparently. And he used to be a pretty big drinker.
Oh, my man.
And frequenter
God,
of not Lumpies, Duffy's.
Oh, he went to Lumpies too. I know he went to the one on Island.
He's a big Duffy's guy. Anyway, someone interviewed him. They're like, "So you quit smoking and you quit drinking?" And he said, "Yeah, I quit smoking. I quit drinking. And let me tell you, I feel a lot worse."
Nice.
Perfect way.
I'd love to run into this.
Perfect way to fucking end this. I have all the time in the world for Polyester Blend Sports World, and I will say this as a final. Oh wait, sorry, Nick. Do you have anything else you want to say about Sloan? You feel good?
I had a question. What is Limp Bizkit Crew?
Don't worry about it. So we have and Jeff Guay. Jeff Guay, you got anything?
Well, just R.I.P. Jerry Sloan. I love that guy. I like wish he was my dad, but I also like I don't really, because it would have been
That'd be tough.
Hey, I've never heard Walt Whitman had less better words than you did, Jeff Guay. I wish I like Jerry Sloan. He could be my dad, but not really. The final thing, and this I was thinking about this earlier, Nick, and I understand people's gripes with Mormon Utah Jazz fandom. It's problematic, of course it is, and there is a beautiful little slender group that loves it, and I'm starting to become more and more of a Jazz fan. Here's what I will say about those fan groups, like Atlanta, like Memphis, some of these other cities. Utah Jazz have more of a robust history than all of you motherfuckers. So go fuck yourself. This team is historic. This team has a fucking
definitely way more than
this team has a fucking history that a lot of you wish you fucking had. So fuck off.
Yeah.
Eat shit.
It'll be another 50 years, and then people will be on board because they'll just take so much pity.
Well, by the way, Silicon Slopes, if they had their way, it's going to be non-Mormons taking over all this shit. Let's do the last three songs. Go ahead, Jeff.
Can I just say one last thing for Sloan? His records are going to be in the books. He's going to be top 10 on like his all-time wins for yet another generation. Like he's a legend. He'll have his name in the rafters for a long time. So
I'd like to think that a listener from Atlanta tuned in, like just randomly to the Polyester Blend Limp Bizkit After Hours crew and was told to summarily fuck themselves immediately
for liking a different sports team.
For just their sports team sucking worse than ours. It's great. Ryan, good shot.
First of all,
demoralization.
figure out how to hold on to a hockey team, you piece of shit, Market. Go fuck yourself. And why didn't you go fund another Avengers movie, you assholes? Fuck you, Georgia. Eat a peach and shit on a fucking peanut. All right, everybody. We have got 3 songs left. And by the way, Nick, so the Limp Bizkit Crew is Jeremy heads this. It's the post Polyester Blend show. It's called the Limp Bizkit Crew.
Oh yeah, I know who it is.
So why'd you? All right, so we are going to play 3 songs. This is what even though Clay, this is Nick and I's number 1 pick, but Clay.
I will say this. It's not my number 1 pick as far as musical taste. That was that LCD Sound System song.
Sure.
But this will be the most ubiquitous album for me in the year 2007.
Is it Battles?
No.
It's MGMT.
MGMT Kids.
Oh.
And I will say that in the time we were doing the DJing stuff we brought up earlier in the show, if I put this song on, I knew it would the room would lose their mind.
Yeah, Oracular Spectacular, the name of the record, was just everywhere, man. Seriously.
Nick, what are your feelings? I
never listened to it.
No. I guarantee you.
I heard it. I know the song.
No, yeah, I listened to them, but I never sat down and I'm gonna put on this MGMT record.
It always came on when I was at a dance party, at a bar, and I never hated when it.
No, I always enjoyed it. It was just never I'm actively my pick. I listened to that album.
That's a great point. You don't
still put it on.
That's a great point. It was probably the most prominent album. I don't think I really listened to it either. I don't remember the whole album.
I guess
just
what I always we talk about the 2007. You're always every time I heard it, I'm like, oh shit, it's 2007.
That song was everywhere. There was no way to avoid it.
Yeah,
it's like Jeff Guay at a bar being an asshole in 2007.
And there's a couple.
There was no way to avoid.
Did they play a Twilight concert series too?
I don't know. Did they play Kilbey Court in 2007?
I don't remember any of that. All right, let's get to the last 2 songs. We'll come back. We'll say goodbye.
Did not. Unless Will left them off his archive.
We will get back. We're going to play
Fire it up, buddy.
3 songs. This one I actually still listen to. I know, as the great Tom Sharpling has said, Animal Collective sounds like if you took a Beach Boys record that was sitting in the sun and played it. I understand that critique, but I fucking love them. And this album is probably my favorite Animal Collective album, more than Merriweather, Post Pavilion. It's off of Strawberry Jam, Animal Collective, Fireworks, 2 more songs, Clayton's song, and then we've got number 1 pick from Nick, and we're going to come back and say goodbye.
Sounds good.
Love you guys. Love Jerry Sloan.
Hey,
We all.
what about my pick?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm
We'll
gonna
be back.
fuck you up if you don't play my pick.
Wait, what are you gonna play? Wait, what do you?
I sang you my pick.
Text me. Hold on. We'll talk. We'll talk about this off. Text me. 4 more songs because apparently Jeremy's got to get on this stuff. Jeremy, text me it. 3 more songs or 4 more songs. We'll end the show. 2007 Best in Music.
And I can't lift you up.
a baby is born, crying out for attention. The memories fade like looking through a fog mirror. Decision to decisions all made and not fought, but I thought this wouldn't hurt a lot. I guess not. Control yourself. Take only what you need from it. A family of trees falling to be haunted. Control yourself. Take only what you
Saw her at go kissing girls, what a shock. Said you must be an artist. She muttered her reply. I was judging her friend as the DJ played a dead jam. No one wants to dance, they're outside smoking cigarettes. Matthew was there, yes, he gave me the eye, saying it doesn't kill to try. Then blue lights all around. Eva, I'm sorry, but you will never have me. To me, you're just some faggy girl, and I need a lover with soul power. And you ain't got no soul power. Eva, I'm sorry, but you will never have me. To me, you're just some faggy girl, and I need a lover with soul power. And you ain't got no soul.
Oh boy. That would have been one I picked if Nick didn't already do it. People, it is the last little home stretch here. That is Nick's pick, number 1 for 2007. I'm going to unmute these boys, bring them back really quick.
My Eric Lopez story was in the venue. See, I think the show was Animal Collective, actually, but we were up in the bar area, and I was with a group of people talking, and he came up, and it was like right after this album, the Battles album came out, and he just came up to us and goes, "Have you guys heard that Battles album?" And he takes his beer like as his dick, and he just fucking jerks his beer so it like sprays beer all over us. And that's how that album is, though.
Hey, if you're gonna
It's
pitch a
like
record for your friends to listen to, why not do that?
I saw him live twice that year.
Can we get an Eric Lopez live in next week, please?
Oh my god, if we could ever
Where
find
is
him.
he? Is he in Alaska still?
By the way, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this. No, he's back here.
Last time I ever saw him, he said he was living
my
in City Creek Canyon.
No, he came to my office, Nick, and I was like, "Eric Lopez, hi, it's Ryan Schlegel." Like, I've gone to multiple shows, hung out, been to Chicago with him, and he just looked at me and was like, "But I got to get this permit." Never said a word. All right, I'm getting word. I have Ryan Bradford's voicemail. We're going to try one more time. Let's see if this works.
Not reporting, but in the Lake Havasu jail where I was popped for partying too hard. You know, I didn't know that it was illegal.
Cuts out there, Ryan. 14 seconds. Sorry, bud. Didn't work out. We tried.
I bet that was comedy gold.
I bet that was comedy gold. People.
It's time to sign off, buddy.
Very loud.
We didn't hear the Black Nasty story.
We hear the Black Nasty story. We
That's
didn't
a
get a lot
good
to our
point.
recommendations of the week.
We're going to have to save that for next week. People, this has been another great edition of Polyester Blend, and especially another great edition of the Limp Bizkit crew. Jeff Gway conked out. He's got to go send a bomb to somebody. He's doing some sort of nefarious shit in Montana. Jeremy Matthews, you did a great fucking job with your graphics. Jeremy, any final word? 2007.
Just that Black Nasty story was a really great story.
Save it.
Y'all missed out.
Save it. Save it. Nick, any final word on 2007? Your experience here tonight.
I just wish that we could do like 5-hour version. We talk as much as we did about Jerry Sloan about every song.
These are great points. We're going to adjust to
Good
that
idea.
next time. Nick, always a pleasure.
Certainly
You know you're always
wondrous
welcome when you're not
ratings.
painting and you're not doing that. Clayton Scrivener, who
Yo.
refuses to play poker tonight, you son of a bitch. What's your final thoughts here?
I expressly directed you never to burp into the microphone during these professional broadcasts. My take on 2007 or my take on this show?
Whatever you want. Both.
2007, it was the last of the Bush years, and we ran into a couple rough years. Besides Obama getting elected, we ran into a couple rough years there as a country, and then, but it seems like child's play for compared to what we're going through here.
I remember
Now.
specifically having a conversation with someone in 2007, which was maybe if the death of capitalism happens, it will be better as a community. I literally had that conversation with someone. I really want to thank Jeff Gway. I really want to thank Nick Faulkner, Jeremy Matthews, of course, are doing a great job. Clayton Scrivener. This is the
man.
Polyester Blend, and this is the Limp Bizkit crew, all saying goodbye. We'll be back.
Text me later this week for late night poker, buddy.
I'm always going to text you for that. I love you guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
Thank you for doing this. It's the end of the chat. I love you guys
Is Nick
all.
like a sorcerer? What is he doing right now?
Trying to do the Limp Bizkit thing.
Oh, you're doing a
Video.
great job with the Limp Bizkit thing. Thank you all for being here. That's the end of the chat. I just ended it. This is the end of the show. James Brown takes us out again. Sure, he's problematic, but this is a great song. We'll be back next week. 2008 music. Any other ideas?
But I know
let me know. Be safe.
I'm
Take
gonna
care of each other.
change that tune when I'm back on top in June. Said that's life. Funny as it may seem, funky as it may seem, some people get their kicks from stepping on a dream.
a bauble, a parrot,